You have like a morning routine that you kind of follow that helps you stay consistent?
Not a set routine, but I will say prayer. That's my number one medicine is definitely prayer. That spiritual aspect that gives me that motivation, that drive, especially those days where we have discouragement and we just kind of need to lead on something. That motivation to kind of lift us up to keep going. So that's my one routine that I will do consistently is pray.
Mm, mm, mm. So is there, would you recommend a certain herb or anything that kind of like helps with like more consistency or drives or motivation or anything?
More maybe more like mental focus herbs like ginkgo or like gotu kola. Actually, this one right here, gotu
Okay.
kola. So this is kind of more of that focus herb to kind of help
Okay.
you, to stay on track to
Go to
stay to.
cola.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the name, where do these names kind of come from? Like
Ooh.
go to cola, where does that kind of come from? You
They all have like different origins depending on where they derive from.
got
But
you. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. You're teaching me a lot. And I guess, when you're on a journey, you always have mentors and people that kind of inspire you. And I know you mentioned about a few people, their holistic lifestyle kind of, you kind of looked up to that kind of got you to where you're at today. Can you kind of go more in depth into that of like, some of the people that you kind of looked up into and from the holistic lifestyle and how they kind of, motivated you and helped you to get to where you're at today?
Yes. So the main two is Dr. Sabi. Everyone know Dr. Sabi in the holistic health, and I really advocate for him too because he doesn't have like a educational or formal background, and I want to tell people that too. Like you don't necessarily have to have a degree if you want to go into holistic health, but if you really know what you're talking about and applying it effectively, then you're still going to see those results, or you can still build that clientele because you have that knowledge. So that's what I really appreciate about Dr. Sabi. And Dr. Laila Africa, he's my other mentor that I really like too. He really goes more into that science for me. So him, like this is kind of like my herbal Bible right here, African holistic health. So this is like my go-to. So he's my other favorite teacher. So them two. And on the more of the science thing, Bruce Lipton. So if I give you a third one, he's a notable scientist in epigenetics, and he's really about the message of biology of belief and how we can basically change ourselves or change our health by speaking it into existence type of thing. So those three have been a big impact on my journey and learning more about herbal holistic health.
Wow, wow. That's an amazing story. So I guess kind of just sharing about, all of your influences and your mentors. When you kind of tell how do you so say I'm a friend or a parent,
Mhm.
how do you explain what you kind of do on a day to day and how do you explain it?
So basically, I tell them that I deal with alternative ways of medicine. I try to educate people that there's an alternative way to basically heal yourselves instead of just relying on pharmaceuticals. And I don't want people to get the misconception that I'm like against pharmaceuticals or Western medicine because it can have some benefits, but long term, that's what you want to think about because essentially it can cause organ damage or organ failure because so much toxicity is building up in the body. So I would just educate them that there are natural plants and herbs that we can take that are more safe. That's not going to do those long term damages, and for them to make the decision for themselves if this is what you want to do.
That's a good breakdown.